The silence of this room. It's the only place I can almost hear myself think. Out there, the world keeps spinning. People laugh, cars drive by. But in here, it's just me and the echo of that night. It's been, what, 30 years now? To everyone else, I'm just an ordinary man, a neighbor, a colleague. They see the smile I've practiced in the mirror for decades. But they don't see what I carry. They don't see him. We were just kids, really. Barely out of high school, thinking we had the whole world figured out. The kind of friendship you see in movies. We did everything together. That summer, we decided to take a road trip. No plan, just a beat-up car, a full tank of gas, and the open road. It was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime, the highlight of our youth, and for a while it was. The drive was long, winding through roads we'd never seen before. We got lost a few times, but we didn't care. That was part of the fun. We'd stop at cheap diners, talk to strangers, and sleep in the car when we got too tired to drive. We felt invincible. I remember him looking over at me from the passenger seat, that wide, fearless grin on his face, saying this was the freest he'd ever felt. I felt it too. It was late when the car started making that sound, a sputtering, coughing noise that made my stomach drop. We were in the middle of nowhere. No lights for miles. Just the dark shapes of trees lining a road we couldn't even find on a map. We pulled over, the engine dying with a final shudder. Stranded. At first, we laughed it off. Just another part of the adventure, right? We decided to walk. The nearest town was supposedly just a few miles ahead, according to a rusted old sign we'd passed. The air grew cold, and the woods on either side of the road seemed to close in, the kind of deep, oppressive dark that swallows sound. We walked side by side, our jokes and laughter slowly fading into a tense silence. The only sound was the crunch of our shoes on the gravel shoulder. That's when we saw the headlights. A single pair, coming up slow behind us. Relief washed over me. We turned, waving our arms, thinking someone was stopping to help. The truck slowed to a crawl, its engine rumbling. It was an old, beat-up pickup, the kind you see on farms. 2 men were in the cab. They didn't look friendly. The relief I felt curdled into a cold, hard knot of fear. They offered us a ride. Their smiles didn't reach their eyes. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to say no, to run. But we were tired, cold, and desperate. He looked at me, a silent question in his eyes. I gave a small, hesitant nod. It was a mistake. A single, stupid nod that changed everything. The moment the truck door slammed shut behind us, I knew we were in terrible trouble. The cab smelled of stale cigarettes and something metallic I couldn't place. They didn't take us toward the town. They turned down a dirt track that disappeared into the trees. We started asking questions, our voices shaking. They just laughed. That's when he whispered to me, "When I say go, we run. Don't look back." My heart was hammering against my ribs, a drumbeat of pure terror. They stopped the truck in a small clearing, deep in the woods. The headlights cut a harsh, white stage in the darkness. They got out, their movements slow and deliberate. He looked at me, his eyes wide with fear, but also with a strange resolve. He mouthed the word, "Ready." Before I could even process it, he yelled, "Go," and shoved me hard towards the passenger door. I scrambled out, falling to the ground. I didn't think, I just ran. I ran blindly into the pitch-black forest, branches whipping at my face, my lungs burning. I could hear them shouting behind me, then a struggle. I heard his voice, a sharp cry of pain. I should have stopped, I should have turned back, but I just kept running. The instinct for survival is a powerful, ugly thing. It overrides everything. I ran until I couldn't breathe, until my legs gave out and I collapsed in the dirt and leaves. I lay there for what felt like hours, listening. The shouting had stopped. There was only the sound of the wind in the trees and the frantic beating of my own heart. The silence that followed was worse than the screams. It was an empty, bottomless silence that swallowed everything. I don't know how long I waited. Eventually, the first light of dawn started to filter through the canopy. I was covered in scratches, mud, and a shame so heavy it felt like a physical weight. I made my way back to the main road, walking like a ghost. When I finally saw a car, I just stood in the middle of the road until it stopped. I couldn't even speak. I just pointed back the way I came. The police found the truck. They found him. I had to identify him. That image is burned into my mind. The person they showed me wasn't the friend I knew. It wasn't the boy with the fearless grin who felt so free. It was just what was left. They called me a victim, a survivor, the sole witness. But those are just words. They don't describe what I am. They caught them, eventually. A pair of fears. It was in the papers for a while. The tragic road trip killing. My testimony put them away for life. Everyone said I was brave, that I did the right thing. They said I was lucky to be alive. Lucky. That word tastes like poison in my mouth. What kind of luck is this? To live with this every single day? I went to his funeral. His parents hugged me, tears streaming down their faces. They told me it wasn't my fault. They said he would have wanted me to live, to run. They tried to comfort me, but their words were just noise. All I could think was that I was standing there, breathing, while their son was in a box in the ground because I ran. Because I chose myself. The guilt. It's not like in the movies. It's not a dramatic breakdown. It's a quiet, constant companion. It's a low hum in the back of my mind. It's the reason I can't get too close to anyone. It's the reason I wake up in the middle of the night, covered in sweat, the sound of my own running feet echoing in my ears. I survived, yes, but I didn't escape. People move on. That's what they say. Time heals all wounds. But it doesn't. It just scabs over them, and underneath, it's still raw. I see his face sometimes, in crowds, in the reflection of a window. For a split second, my heart leaps, thinking he's there. And then the reality crashes back down. He's gone, and I'm still here. I've tried therapy. I've tried moving away. I've tried everything to outrun the memory of that night. But it's part of me now. It's in my DNA. The brave survivor everyone sees is a lie. I'm a coward. I'm the boy who ran while his friend didn't. And I have to live with that. They got life in prison. But so did I. Sometimes I wonder what he would say if he could see me now. Would he be angry? Would he understand? I like to think he'd tell me I did the right thing. That he'd tell me to live a good life, for both of us. But I can't. I can't live for him because I can't forgive myself for living at all. The price of my life was his. And that's a debt I can never repay. So I sit here, in the quiet, in the dark. It's the only place that feels honest. Out there is the life I'm supposed to be grateful for. The life he doesn't have. In here, it's just me and the truth. I'm the one who got away. But the real horror, the part they don't write about in the papers, is that I never really did. Part of me is still back there, in those woods, running.